If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells have stopped. Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost!
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe?
Send us the cash.
Welcome to the Bible Dumb Podcast. I am your host, Davey Hell.
And I'm Jessie Hill.
And this is the podcast where two atheists read the entire fucking Bible.
This is a bad decision.
From Genesis to Revelation. And we are in the middle of Exodus.
And we have lots of regrets.
In the thick of it. So, last time on Bible Dumb Podcast, we built a tabernacle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So the
and
ark,
had lots of fancy things. It was all the statues, right?
all the statues, all the curtains, all the just random
It's like
shit.
the fancy mega churches.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Everything's coated in gold. Everything's coated in brass. Lots of brass. And yeah, so they have a tabernacle. They have an ark to put the tablets in, which
okay.
I was having a long discussion with my friend Christopher, and we were discussing how I was asking him, airing some concerns I had over this last chapter, saying, why are they calling it an ark of the covenant? Are they building a boat? And what he said was that it was a callback to Noah's ark, where God saved everyone's physical forms. Well, not really killed everybody, but the symbology is that he saved Noah with the ark, and with the Ark of the Covenant, with the Ark of the Covenant, God is saving their spirits with the Ten Commandments.
Okay.
Sounded like a stretch to me, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Anyway,
I guess that's how they make sense of it. I don't know.
they got something to put the tablets in.
Good.
They can put the Ten Commandments in there. Everybody will know not to make graven images, not to kill each other, not to worship other gods, and all the rest. This is Gilligan's Island reference.
No.
Okay, what you got over there, Jessie?
Well, it's been a little hard to focus, so I thought, being spooky season, I'd get my Halloween nanograms out, and I'm gonna try to do that so I can focus on what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm thinking it'll help me focus and process what you're saying.
All right. That's a good plan. One of my favorite things to do while listening to podcasts is to do color by numbers on my phone. And my daughter loves it when I send her my finished colorings.
Well, my stuff right now is on paper, so it's real old-fashioned.
Old school.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see if this gets any more entertaining this time around with the old Exodus. Like, so disappointing how far Exodus has fallen. Like, the beginning was so good. We loved Moses. We thought Moses was a cool guy. He was doing cool stuff. There was magic. It was like a story that you could follow.
Yeah, it definitely started out more story-like, but it's really fallen off the deep end.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's not fun.
All right, well, let's jump into chapter 28.
And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
All right.
Yeah, so
We got our first,
like shiny robes and shit.
yeah,
All right, so I always wondered.
first official, like, church leader,
Yeah,
Aaron.
yeah.
Weird.
First pope?
Oh, is he a pope?
No, it was a question.
Oh, maybe.
They haven't mentioned the
I
word
mean,
pope yet, but I'm just like, he's the
does
leader of the
that-
Catholic Church, and he's got some fancy garments.
Yeah. I guess dumb question.
If-
Here's a real dumb question.
A little Bible dumb question.
Catholics read the same? Yeah. They don't have a different Bible.
Yeah, Catholics
Okay.
are like the OG Christians.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Catholics are like the real Christians.
Okay.
Everybody reads this Old Testament stuff.
But not the but just okay. Catholics and Christians and Jewish people, but not
Yes.
but like
E-
Muslims.
Even Muslims.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody.
That's new
They all build
information.
off of each other. So, like,
The Quran is the same. I guess it's just a different translation than.
no, the Quran is like, okay, so the Jews have the Old Testament, which they call the Torah. I think the Torah also includes some other scriptures and stuff, but basically they have the Old Testament, and that's their Bible. Then the Christians, they like also believe in the Old Testament, but they think Jesus came along and was the Son of God. I was going to say prophet, but he's the Son of God, and all that Old Testament stuff, is old, like not
Yeah.
as good as the New Testament stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of them believe that, the Old Testament stuff's just a myth. What Jesus
What?
did was real.
You can't do that.
Well, and then this
So
is
what are
where
the
the Muslims come in.
Oh.
That's the Catholics.
Oh, the Catholics think the same. The Catholics go with Jesus too.
Catholics are
I th-
like the oldest form of Christianity.
Okay. Do they do the whole thing?
Whole thing.
Okay.
But the New Testament is the best.
For the
Is-
Catholics.
Right. For
Okay.
Christians in general, all the Christians.
Okay.
The Muslims, they believe Jesus was a real guy, but they don't believe he was the Son of God.
Oh, okay.
They believe that the Prophet Muhammad came and he's the real deal.
Wait, we've had a Muhammad.
No, we haven't.
No. Oh, we had Abraham. I always confuse Abraham and Muhammad. I don't,
Once again,
I don't
we
know.
didn't name our podcast because we are saying the Bible is dumb. We're saying we are Bible dumb. But yeah, hope that clears it up. And then the Mormons, they believe everybody else is stupid and their prophet is the real one.
Oh, the Mormons.
Where were we?
We're at the beginning.
Oh, his clothes, his fancy clothes.
And these are the garments which they shall make, a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and an embroidered coat, a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen with cunning work. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen.
Now all I can picture in my mind is like the Pope and all these like cardinals and priests and shit wearing girdles underneath their robes. You know, like the Old West kind of like lace up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. So why are they having like, why does he care what color their robes are? This is what I don't get. Like, this all seems like way beneath God.
You would think so, yeah. Like, you think you'd have bigger problems.
Yeah. Like describing their underwear. What color it needs to be.
And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names on the rest on the other stone, according to their birth, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet. Shalt thou engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel? Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod thou shalt make it. Of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the 4th row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be in gold in their enclosings.
I'd be interested to know if they still have like these family jewels. Like,
Oh, I'm sure they have.
I think in the Vatican they have
Oh,
like
for
some
sure.
kind of weird breastplate with all of these gems in it.
I bet they do.
Interesting. And they have the names of the children of Israel engraven in them.
Yeah. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have all kinds of stuff that they stole from different people. They were like, "Oh, this is good. This belongs to you."
I'll just write my name right there. Yeah. Just more gaudy shit.
It's very micromanaging.
Yeah. And just...
Haven't we come across that problem before with God being a micromanager?
No, we were talking about, what's his name? Who's the dude with the coat?
Oh, Jacob?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Right?
Yeah, Joseph.
So many
Fancy
J
colored.
names.
So many.
Anyway, we were calling him a macro manager for some reason. That was the title of one of our episodes.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember why.
I remember somebody was. Oh, because he... Yeah, I don't remember. I remember now, though. Like, vaguely.
So, yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine recently about this. So, he sent me this picture of this big, giant, elaborate, old cathedral. It's got like all of the beautiful Renaissance paintings of like Jesus and Mary, and like it's like huge golden archways. golden embroidery all over the place, just this magnificent palace. And I was just kind of like really taken aback by how different his impression and my impression were of the same thing. His take was, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful stuff. How come we don't have anything like this anymore? This was like how come back then people were so dedicated to creating such works of art and such beauty, and now we have like the Toyota Music Factory. I'm like, well, look no further than the name.
Yeah.
Stupid capitalist, money-hungry nonsense. But he was taken aback by my reaction, which was, I called it nasty, gaudy nonsense or something like that. He's like, you really think it's nasty? I'm like, well, yes, it's beautiful. It's awe-inspiring, like this massive work of art. But how do you not see just like the disgusting materialism?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the only reason it exists is within a context of like one person being a king or the head of a religion, taking everybody else's shit and ordering them to build him a palace.
Yeah. You can have a nice building without it being gaudy, and like you can have a cute little cottage, or you can have a cute whatever, and it doesn't have to have thousands of dollars of gold and ridiculousness in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of a different perspective that kind of I find interesting.
Mm-hmm. They could have used their money to feed the poor, build a schoolhouse,
Well, you're never going to have something like that in a democracy because nobody's going to want to all... First off, the people that want giant, gorgeous megachurches don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on.
And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains thou shalt fasten in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon 2 ends of the breastplate, in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And 2 other rings of gold thou shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with the lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosed from the ephod.
How those nanograms holding you?
A little bit.
So
I would have to be taking notes if I was to follow these instructions.
Well, I don't expect you to follow him. I'm trying to picture him in my mind, and it's interesting because he's describing almost like military tassels that hang down like little chains on the shoulders.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Like it doesn't, what I'm hearing doesn't sound like a priestly outfit. It sounds like very military. I mean, he's talking about breastplate. I mean, that's armor, right?
Yeah.
And armor was, it sounds more Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it does.
Like as if it was shaped like a bear or a dragon or something. Big deer antler helm. I mean, I could still get behind this. We'll see if he goes to war. Fights on the trident. I doubt it, though.
And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart. when he goeth in unto the holy place for memorial before the Lord continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continuously. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continuously.
I never thought of Aaron as a biblical name, but he's a pretty important dude.
Yeah. He's the first
He's the first mega priest.
first guy to get robes, yeah. Cool. I don't know. Okay, I keep calling them robes just because that's what our current priests wear. Well, I mean, he did say he had fancy garments. Anyways. Breastplate of Judgment sounds kind of cool. It sounds like a magic, like something you'd get in like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it does.
You found a breastplate of judgment. Yes.
That would be a pretty good power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would do.
I feel like it would help you make the right decision during a difficult time.
That'd be
That'd
good.
be such a great power.
There's so many times in D&D where you get stuck and you have no idea what the hell to do next, and you're like staring at the dungeon master, and they just stare right back at you, and you think,
like you're like, I have this great magic ball where I can speak to my teammates, and maybe it might stop you from smashing it on the ground.
Yeah, your breastplate of judgment prevents you from doing what you just said you were gonna do.
That's a real life example.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to my D&D companions.
And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue, and there shall be a hole in the top of it, so your head can come out. It doesn't say that. And there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of a habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate, upon the hem of the robe round about.
Is that word for word?
Yes, that's word for word. He's just like singing. You know, I am just now just like totally imagining God as that like super flamboyantly gay fashion icon. You know, the guy with glasses and white hair. Oh, I gotta think of his name.
I think I know. I don't.
Googling gay fashion icon, white hair. Tim Gunn.
Okay.
This guy.
Okay, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, that's who that's God now in my brain. And it shall be fabulous.
And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not.
So he's got bells all over him, and so now they know not to just randomly kill him when he leaves or enters the church? Is that what's happening?
It's kind of what it sounds like.
Okay.
Reminds me of how you put little bells on cats so they can't kill the birds.
Oh, yeah. That's a sweet thing
It's like
to
the
do.
same but opposite.
Yeah. How many people are they just killing without knowing who it is? They're just like waiting to kill anybody, and they're like, oh, shit, it's got bells. That's Aaron. Better not kill him. We'll get the next guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Why would they kill him? Yeah, I don't know. Why do they do that? I don't know.
And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, Holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre. Upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts, and it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord.
So now he's Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, it's just marked. Well, it says all caps on his forehead. He's more like Post Malone. He's just walking around with fucking words on his face. It just says holiness to the Lord right across his forehead.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words.
Yeah. It's probably in like big fancy script.
What could that mean?
What do you mean?
Does that just have to do with, like the ash thing that they put on people, the little cross they put on people's foreheads?
No. That's got to do with, I don't even know.
Does that come later?
That comes later. I think that has to do with Jesus. That has to do with
Okay,
Jesus'
yeah. 'Cause
resurrection
it's on, like,
or something
Ash
like that. Ash
Wednesday
Wednesday,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
No, this
Huh.
is just a giant plate of gold that he has to wear on his forehead all the time. That says in all caps, holiness to the Lord.
Oh, it's a plate?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a plate.
I was thinking it was like
A
a
plate of pure
a
gold.
marking. Okay. Is it like connected? It's so weird. Are they saying that that's why they have to wear such fancy stuff, the crowns and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, that's what I was thinking
I
when this
guess.
started, but nobody dresses like this.
I mean, the Pope still gets pretty fancy, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not wearing like armor with
He's
jewels
not
all in
wearing
it.
armor,
He doesn't
but
have like a.
He has like a little fancy hat, though.
He's got a fancy hat. Yes, he does. The rabbis don't have any of this.
Mm-mm.
This is just Aaron. This is just Aaron's thing.
Aaron special.
I've never seen anyone walking around with a gold plate on their forehead that says holiness to the Lord.
True.
And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of the fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles and bonnets shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach.
They've got jorts.
Linen jorts.
Yeah, it covers from their. Or is this just like first underwear? Like goes from their loins to their thighs. Yeah, so they're just walking around in shorts.
Did God invent the boxer brief?
Dude, God invented a lot of stuff here. Apparently, like, no shirts had head holes. He invented a hem on the neck hole so it wouldn't rip. He invented the shorts. Pretty good stuff.
And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him.
Okay. They should still be wearing
These linen.
these clothes. It says from here on out, you need to be wearing, you need to be showing up to church in shorts
But only Aaron and his heirs.
True. That's true. But are his heirs his sons, or like all ministers? Anyone who's going to minister to the Lord.
Point, yeah. I think it's just saying they have to wear
I think all
underwear.
ministers should be wearing jorts.
I think
have like a golden thing on their head, a golden breastplate, a girdle underneath.
I think it's just saying that they have to wear girdle or underwear underneath their robe.
Under their robes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right. God
It's like a
invented
judge.
underwear.
You know?
He's like specifically saying don't go commando under your robes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's a micromanager.
All right. You're right. He thinks of everything. Good job. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't want like him to like sit down in the middle of his ministering and pull an old Blue Velvet. What in that? Not that movie where the woman like uncrosses her legs.
No, that's
Fatal Attraction.
yeah, I think so. But do you think God came up with all these rules after a personal experience?
Yeah, during those 40 days Moses was in the fog, he's just like constantly like flashing God on accident.
Like, all right, from now on, we need
Underwear.
underwear.
All right, what do you think of chapter 28?
Very detailed.
Very detailed, that's right. All right, next chapter. Chapter 29.
And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take 1 young bullock, and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour shalt thou make them. And thou shalt put them into 1 basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt take the garments, and put upon Aaron the coat, and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. Then shalt thou take the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And thou shalt bring his sons, and put coats upon them, and thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute, and thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns. And thou shalt take the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the innards. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar.
Sounds way more like a satanic ritual to me.
Yeah.
Just like gruesome sacrifices and sprinkling blood all over the place.
Wait, what was it?
Bullock?
Bullock. What is that?
I'm guessing it's just a bull.
Okay.
I'm guessing bull is short for bullock.
Maybe.
I think that's probably right. Don't want to look it up.
I'll stay dumb on that one.
Yeah, it's another one. I'm good being dumb on that.
Yeah.
Just go with assuming what I assume is correct.
But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering.
That is gonna smell bad.
What? Burn his flesh, his skin, and his shit.
Do you think? Okay, the skin, that's gonna burn. Poop's not gonna burn very good.
Yeah, what? Why does it mention it's poop?
I don't know.
Like, okay, I mean, all right. You think anybody's doing this today?
No.
Why not?
Because we have laws. Sanitation
Stupid.
laws.
That's why. It is a sin offering. What is that? Is this like basically you do this to get out of like blame for the bad shit you've done?
Yeah. For forgiveness.
Interesting. So instead of actually like making up for the bad shit you do, you just fucking kill some more shit. Burn its poop on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. This is like the first try at Jesus. First, this bull will die for your sins, and then next time we'll do Jesus.
Like some people really liked that.
Yeah,
Let's
I
up
really
it a
liked not being blamed for what I did wrong. That was good.
Thou shalt take one ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, and thou shalt slay the ram. Surprised? And thou shalt take his blood, and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And thou shalt cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him, and his legs, and put them unto his pieces, and unto his head.
This is crazy.
Fucking put his legs on his head.
Why? What did the ram do to you?
Cut its head off, then cut its legs off, then put its legs in its eye holes.
This is demented.
Sprinkle the blood everywhere. Like I'm sorry.
It's
this
very
is
unnecessary.
So stupid. Like, I don't know. Just the description I find hilarious.
Yeah.
In a very morbid way.
Definitely. It's just, how do you get off? How does anyone get off acting like this is good? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
This is not the good side. Good people don't do this.
No.
Good people don't sacrifice. I don't care what time period you live in. Good people don't sacrifice animals for some altered crap.
Yeah, we are now, I mean, the whole thing, but, I mean, zero consideration for animals. Like, it's not surprising. Like, it's just, you know, I mean, you can tell they're troglodytes. They don't understand, like, empathy at all for anything or anyone.
Yeah, it's just weird.
And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. Then thou kill the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And thou shalt take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him, and he shall be hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. Also thou shalt take of the ram the fat, and the rump, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration.
Okay. So sometimes when I'm reading this, like, such specific weird shit that's in here in the Bible, it makes me really want to pull aside. I mean, I've got friends that are Christians. You know, whatever. Like, it really makes me want to pull one of them aside and just say, what do you think about this part?
I don't think
I'm
they
not
think
talking
about this part.
I'm not judging you for whatever club you're a part of. Like, I don't care that you pray before you eat. Like, none of that stuff matters. That's fine. What do you think about this part where he says dip your big toe on your right foot into ram blood in order to win God's favor and consecration? What do you think about that? What do you think about that part?
Yeah, I don't know.
And, like, what do you say? Like, what are all these people saying to this?
I'm sure they're saying, oh, well, that was back in the day.
Yeah, it was all back in the day. All of it.
No. I have no idea what they would say.
Like, why can't... Like, we're all reading the same fucking King James Bible. I do not get, like, why only some of us can read it with a critical eye.
Yeah.
And I don't mean, like, critical as in, like, like, to insult it, but, like, with, like, critical thinking. Like, a slight bit of taking your current intelligence and, I don't know, wisdom that you've gained from reason throughout your life and just apply it to what you're reading. I don't think God is telling people to dip their right toes and thumbs into blood in order to be consecrated priests of his ministry.
Was it just whoever was writing this or translating it just trying to be creative?
I mean, it's just cult shit. It's just, that's all it is. It's just like, it's just ritualistic nonsense in order to make people think you're special and should be followed without question. It's the same shit that happens over and over and over again.
I also feel like Christians are typically the most common group of people who will go around and call other civilizations or people savages or barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty out there.
I mean, it sounds like a satanic ritual is what I'm reading. Like, that's what it sounds like. Just like, or how they paint. Like, I'm not talking about like these political organizations like the Temple of
Yeah, you mean
Satan.
like the
like
stereotype.
Yeah, like when they picture like people with like a big pentagram and candles and like sacrificing babies and animals on an altar. That's what this exactly is.
Like what was the
sacrifice innocence in order to gain God's favor.
What was the Tom Hanks movie from the 80s?
Ooh. Joe versus the volcano?
No, the one with the neighbors.
The suburbs? Suburbia?
The Burbs?
The Burbs.
The Burbs, yeah. They had the whole satanic
Oh, yeah.
thing.
That was a good movie.
It was a
I'm
very
gonna watch that again. It's Halloween time. We should definitely watch The Burbs.
The pizza dude's here. That's my favorite.
Is that Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, I gotta find my place again. Oh yeah, and it mentioned his rump again.
Oh yeah. It was hard not to laugh when you said that.
And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And thou shalt receive them of their hands, and burn them upon the altar, for a burnt offering, for the sweet savor before the Lord. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be thy part. And thou shalt sanctify the breast of the wave offering, and the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Israel. For it is a heave offering, and it shall be a heave offering of the children of Israel, of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto the Lord. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them.
What does that mean?
A lot of offerings.
He said wave them around. Like everything's got to be waved and everything's got to be heaved.
Yeah, I don't know what are we waving and heaving our offerings?
Yeah. It's like it said, like, wave them all about for the Lord.
So, like, you got to show what you're contributing to the...
Yes, this is all just like, put your hands in the air.
And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days when he cometh into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place. And thou shalt take the ram of the consecration and seethe his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations, or of the bread remain unto the morning, then thou shalt burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shalt thou do unto Aaron and his sons, according to all things which I have commanded thee. 7 days shalt thou consecrate them. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement. And thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it. And thou shalt anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it. And it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. And 1 lamb thou shalt offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at even. And with the 1 lamb 1/10 deal of flour mingled, with the 4th part of him of beaten oil, and the 4th part of him of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat, offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
I mean, just Moses, Aaron, and his sons are just eating this shit, right?
Yeah, and if they can't finish it, nobody else can eat.
Yeah.
Burn it.
Bring us a feast. I want breakfast. I want it prepared the way I like, with its legs sticking out of its eyeball holes. Yeah, and if we can't finish this shit, just burn the rest. Nobody else gets it.
Yeah, that's weird. It's frustrating.
Don't like it. Leave the animals alone.
Not just that, but like, if don't waste food.
Yeah. People are starving.
And this shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak there unto thee. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and I will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.
Wow.
Ugh.
That sounds almost threatening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, maybe it was the way you said it, but
I mean, it's pretty easy to read inflection here. Like, he's just like screaming, "I am the God! I am the Lord God! Listen to me! I brought you from Egypt. You owe me."
yeah.
And did he? Well, I guess. Created a bunch of plagues and shit. Washed them away in the Red Sea. But, alright. You want to know something weird?
Yeah.
You know how I said earlier, like, there's, like, little, like, almost like title headings on every page that kind of tell you what you're reading about?
Oh, yeah.
They call this part the Ransom of Souls. That's dark.
That is.
That's crazy.
The ransom. Oh, gosh.
Like, it's just talking about like, all the animals they killed. Like, that's dark. Ransom of souls. That's wild.
I mean, you're paying for your salvation with these animals, right? Is that what it's?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing in here. It's definitely not talking about his shorts. That's the only thing in these chapters. All right, we've been going almost an hour on this shit. Yeah, I guess that's a good place. We only made it 2 chapters, but those were some long chapters.
Okay. We have what, 7 more? Didn't you say 9 earlier?
We got 10 more chapters.
Okay.
I was hoping we could get a little bit further towards the ending, but it's all right. I think next time maybe we'll get out of some of this description. That's what I was hoping this time. Oh well.
It's been a rough couple episodes.
Yeah. Not much we can do about it.
No.
I am worried about some of these later books of the Bible. Like,
No.
I've heard Leviticus is bad. And we already know that there's going to be like a whole book of songs in here.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the songs.
Oh, not me. And then, is there even more repetition? Oh, what's this? I found a little bookmark from executive producer Terry Lynn Bradford.
What is Terry leaving?
Oh, man, she's got some favorite quotes in here.
I need to look up Terry Lynn Bradford and find out some information on him. Is it a girl or a boy?
It's a woman.
Okay.
It's an old lady who died and her
Yeah,
Bible
yeah.
got donated half price, so we don't need to drag up any dirt on
No,
Terry
I want to
Lynn.
see why the family's donating her Bible to the.
Well, what else are they going to do with it? It's a big, gaudy...
I'm gonna
it's
try.
a big,
I
nasty,
wanna try
gaudy
to track
Bible.
down her relative.
Oh, man. It's like
Do some
her
Jessica
notes
Jones
are
work.
written on like a receipt paper.
She just has her favorite quotes.
Yeah. It's
Okay, no spoilers. No spoilers.
all from Philippians? They're all from Philippians. We got a while before we get to Philippians. Philippians. But it's sitting here in Psalms. It's her bookmark, I guess. I guess she didn't finish. She didn't even get to the New Testament.
She didn't even get to Jesus.
Fucking typical. Come on, Terry Lynn. What the fuck? Well, I guess we can. We're still in Exodus, so okay, we'll judge you once we pass Psalms. Once we pass your bookmark. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to run around saying this is a holy book,
You better read the whole damn
you got
thing.
to read the whole fucking thing.
Word for word.
Word for word. Just like you good old friends at the Bible Dumb Podcast. If you would like to send a letter to the Bible Dumb Podcast, write to us at BibleDumbPodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the air in a goofy voice. Probably a demon voice from hell, because that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, stay dumb, everybody.
Stay dumb.